Okinawa was the key to the invasion of Japan. We were ready to turn the key. The whoosh of rockets. The tortured air, seared by the rush of white-hot steel, screams its protest. A plane dives toward destiny, disintegrates in explosive agony. Cacophony of violence, strange musical overtone for our services of prayer and worship. Ashore, 115,000 men. Afloat, 154,000 men. All that divides us is ideology, and so we are enemies. All that separates us from mortal struggle is the diminishing elasticity of time. It is Easter Sunday, 1945. It is quiet. Too quiet. Our first assault waves hit at 0830. 10 minutes later, all assault waves are ashore, and no enemy has fired upon us. But we are cagey. We remember Iwo Jima, how they let us get ashore and then rained death and destruction on us. Momentarily, we expect violent resistance. It is April 1st. We distrust this April Fool's joke. We probe cautiously, then faster. Then we really accelerate. Yontan and Kadena airfields, where we have expected to fight for days, are in our hands by noon. Their defenses are undamaged and unmanned. Everywhere on the mainland, it was the same. Light and sporadic resistance. The 1st Marine Division overran their first 20 days assignment in 4 days. The 6th Marine Division reached their 15 days objectives in the same period. The Japanese had withdrawn their great strength to as yet undisclosed positions. It was part of their defense strategy, forcing us to find them, then fight them on their own ground
under their own conditions and at their own terms. It was to be a war of attrition, long, vicious, and deadly.
The 6th Marine Division seals off the narrow neck of the Ishikawa Isthmus and pushes north. On D+9, they encounter their first enemy resistance in strength. The hills are 1,500 feet high, infested with natural and man-made caves. Perpendicular cliffs with natural cover defy penetration. The enemy has chosen well, but this is no coral island which must be overrun in hours. Here, we have time. We bring up concentrations of artillery, additional troops. Marine close air support burns away the concealment. Naval gunfire is damaging to the positions, but does little to reduce enemy personnel. They run deep into their caves, then pop out when the bombardment is over. We take the strong point by hand, with hand weapons. It requires 7 days, but it is done. Other units of the 6th Marine Division seal and secure the Motobu Peninsula, the offshore islands, and the remainder of the northern area. The 1st Marine Division seals and secures its area, including the Kachin Peninsula and offshore islands.
In the south, the situation was not so favorable. On D-Day, the 24th Corps had landed on the right, executed a wheeling movement, and for the next 4 days had driven swiftly southward. From D+4 until D+10, enemy resistance had stiffened. From D+11, the 7th and 96th Infantry Divisions, U.S. Army, found themselves face to face with the real Japanese strength on Okinawa. Whereas the drive to the north had been opposed by 3,000 enemy troops, the 24th Corps was fighting almost 100,000. Japanese defense plans for Okinawa were simple, if erroneous. Allow the Americans to get ashore, engage them in a war of attrition while their kamikaze attacks were destroying the American fleet. With our troops thus severed from supply or rescue, the enemy would bring additional troops from the Japanese mainland and decimate our divisions at his leisure.
April 6-7, 355 enemy planes. April 12-13, 185. April 15, 165. On April 16th, we take inventory. Although no major fighting ship of the Navy has been sunk, several have been severely damaged. 14 others have been sunk, and many times that number have been removed for repairs. April 27-28, 115 suicide planes. On other days, they send only 20 to 50. To the empire, Okinawa is face, and face must be protected at any price. As it was in the beginning. Talons of destruction. So shall it be at the ending. Birds of prey. Ripping. Slashing. Destroying. Kamikaze, divine wind, and ill that blows no good. Kamikaze, expiring gust of a tottering empire. Below lies Naha, ancient and honorable capital of Okinawa. Naha, too, is face. Japanese resistance on the hills to the east is bitter, vicious. Queen Ridge, Sugarloaf, Horseshoe, Charlie. They are fighting a delaying action to cover the withdrawal of the Japanese 32nd Army. On the night of May 22nd, we break through the ring of defenses. On May 27, we enter the city. The face of Naha is somewhat battered. Beginning on April 30th, Marine units are withdrawn from the north and assigned their objectives in the south. By May 10th, realignment is complete, and Army and Marine divisions are ready for a concerted assault. The outlying positions are 2 miles in depth. They are 2 weeks in the taking. Marine pilots fly 600 close support missions in 13 days. Rockets, bombs, and 150,000 gallons of napalm destroy the enemy concealment. When rain turns roads into quagmires, frontline units are resupplied by air.
The accepted measure of time from 1 April until 1 May is termed 1 month. Until 1 June, 2 months. But time is not constant. Even our calendar must be adjusted every 4th year to acknowledge and accommodate this consistent inconsistency. 1 second in the inferno has the relative length of an aeon. This is inferno. And as the aeons accumulate, we must transpose the immeasurable into some known quantity of measurement which has a relative timeliness commensurate with our progress. We choose names, names of towns and hills and valleys. Names we can never remember, yet will never forget. Tsuchina, Kokuba, Sukasan, Kanagajuku, Gisuchi, Dakitan, Tomuso, Hanza, Shindawaku. When we run out of Japanese names, we supply our own. Hill 521, Abel, Baker, Charlie, Queen Ridge, Sugarloaf, Horseshoe, Crescent, Half Moon, 71, 54, 67, Hike. Hike. We wish we could. Instead, we crawl and hack and shoot and climb and fall and slip and stumble and slide and dodge and cling and inch. One enemy at a time becomes one cave at a time, which becomes one pocket at a time, which in turn becomes one hill at a time. We keep grinding and whittling and scratching and pushing and shoving and gouging them back toward that last implacable barrier, the sea. Time is measured in names. 20 Kokubas and fatigue mounts. 30 Gisuchis, casualties increase. 40 Kunishis and violence is undiminished. 49 Mizados and Shuri Castle, the nightmare, the strong point, falls. 70 Nagasukus, and the end is in sight. On the morning of June 21st, Army and Marine units launched the final assault against the 3 remaining pockets of resistance. By 10 a.m., the breakthrough is complete. And now, time reverts to its familiar measurement. 82 days ago, our forces landed on this island. After 82 days of battle, Okinawa is won.
As the weary Army and Marine battalions reverse and begin the sweep to wipe out bypassed pockets of resistance in the ground they have just captured, we sense the cracking of Japanese fanaticism. For the first time in 3 years, the enemy responds in number to the appeals of our psychological warfare teams. By June 30th, more than 7,000 have surrendered. More than 100,000 are dead. In comparison, our Marine losses are 30 times less.
Although we did not know it, the last land battle of World War II had been fought, and Korea was hidden by distant horizons. Our men, weapons, techniques, and equipment had all been vindicated in victory.
Behind us stretches the 3-year, 3,000-mile corridor. How hurried the beginning. How distant the entrance. How valorous the deeds that level the tortuous path. How magnificent the sacrifices that shored the success. How righteous the intent that lent the impetus. How costly the losses for freedom spent. How remembered the departed. How honored their memories. How vindicated their passing. For in the progress of their relentless course, oppression and aggression were put to rout. In the bitter turmoil were republics born. From the wreckage rise the edifices of freed nations. In the administration of the affairs of the conquered enemy nation are our true and unselfish intents displayed for all the world to see. We fought for freedom, nothing more.